beautiful people. The August 30th. It's Sunday morning. I'm getting ready to drive to Massachusetts here in a little bit. Go golfing. Looking forward to it. I don't think I actually even mentioned it here, but I gave my resignation letter for my day job this week, so I will have just 2 more weeks, and then I will be more submerged into 321 and also Workify, which is another piece of my project, I guess. It just kind of showed up, and it helps me raise money for gambling addiction and also helps some of my entrepreneurial friends. So you'll hear more about that adventure as we go along, I'm sure. But times are changing, and it's all good stuff. So I like today's reading. I never expected it, actually, to read the way it is. And yeah, you'll see why I like it here in just a minute. I can hear music, sweet, sweet music, Brian Wilson said. We often find it helpful to think about the role music has played in our lives. Sometimes it has been a problem for us. Time spent listening to loud, blaring music was a time of physical and emotional isolation, usually under the influence of drugs. In recovery, we find ourselves drawn to a different kind of music that speaks to our changing way of life. Perhaps it is more soothing or relaxing. Perhaps it is a new artist. Whatever type of music we choose, we find it much more than a pastime for us. It is an appreciation. Our favorite artists, our favorite songs, some never change, some do. Our relationship with music is growing and changing. In recovery, we find music engages our minds and relaxes our bodies in a new way. Music lifts our spirits, too. We are grateful that music is a part of our life and that we now have a chance to think about it and perhaps even develop some new interest. Music is an excellent way to get to know other people, helps us unwind after a hard day, and adds a new dimension to our enjoyment of life. Today, I thank you for music. Help me love and appreciate it even more now that I'm sober, aka bet-free. So the reason I like this is because I've been a normal music, like an average, not normal, I guess average, as far as music engagement. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was definitely more, I was all about Guns N' Roses, and I was in love with that drummer, Steven Adler. I know that name probably does not mean much to most of you, but he was a beautiful, beautiful drummer. Brett Michaels from Poison. I've had my little journeys. I went through my country phase where I learned how to line dance, and it was all about Garth Brooks and Shania Twain. And, I go through phases, and I'd have to say I've definitely been more top 40 the last, I don't know how many years. Some of it has to do with who I socialize with, too. I noticed, if I'm, I don't know, the company you keep, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So this last few years, since making some of the friends I have, and especially with Brett introducing me to Blue October, which is the group that opens, sings I Hope You're Happy, which is our opening and closing music, and the fact that Justin's in recovery and is so transparent about his journey that it then becomes more about the music, more than just the music, although I love the music. And as you can tell by, the upbeatness of it, it's kind of fun. But there's also, he does some pretty dark stuff as well. But I'm engaged in music in a different way. Like, I've bought more tickets to see him on a Friday night from home than probably total concert tickets in my life. Now, some of that is I don't like all the people, it's just too much sometimes to go to concerts. But I actually started listening to the music on a different way. Like even how it was on an album compared to listening to Justin sing on these private concerts or these little virtual concerts, if I've gained so much clarity and I hear what I want to hear or I hear sometimes the story I think he's trying to tell. And it's just different than just listening to music. The other thing that's changed for me with music is by going to church last year, there's a couple songs that I really connected with at the church, and I've bought them on iTunes because they sing, relevant music. So I've now got a couple songs that I like that are on my playlist. So it's interesting to me that my music music taste changes as my recovery and as I change. So I thought that was pretty neat. So some of the points of the reading, thinking about the role music has played. Oh, that's another thing. I think I've shared with you that in Asia, Paul had us do an exercise where we tied music to our visualization and thinking in the future. Music is very powerful, and the more I learn about how it can bring you back to memory. Like, okay, so from a gambling perspective, that song Walk Like an Egyptian, it was from the Bangles, and it was fun whenever it came out. I liked it, but there was slot machines that played that music. And for me, whenever I hear it on the radio, I think of this slot machine every single time. And because that's like one of my big associations with it. And there's a couple songs that are like that. I won't, get into all my machines or whatever. But that one definitely I could feel my body change when I hear that song. It's crazy. So it does that too with good and bad memories, which is what, of regular just life memories. Maybe you remember the song that was playing when you got your first kiss, or when you got certain news, or like I can remember driving to the airport one day in Wisconsin, and I could remember some of the songs that were on, kind of like going down that highway. I don't know why, but I could just remember certain songs. And there was a trip I went to Minnesota, same thing. That's when Imagine Dragons' Thunder came out, and we were driving through thunderstorms and laughing about the irony of it. And that song always takes me back to Minnesota, like in that car ride. So I totally I digress when I get on my little tangents here, and my brain just goes the way it wants. So bear with me. In recovery, we find ourselves drawn to a different kind of music that speaks to our changing way of life, perhaps in a more soothing or relaxing, perhaps it's a new artist. So that kind of encompasses what I was saying about the church music and about, Justin and Blue October. It has changed. That's not necessarily what I would have done before recovery. I probably never would have heard of Blue October had not been for rehab and stuff. Whatever type of music we choose, we find it much more than a pastime for us. It is appreciation, our favorite artists, our favorite songs. It is true. That's the other part, right? As we experience more gratitude in our lives, it would make sense that the gratitude would get passed on to music as well, and really appreciate it. Our relationship with music is growing and changing. For me, that's 100% true. In recovery, we find music engages our minds and relaxes our bodies in a new way, lifts our spirits. And it's true. Like if you integrate music, I love listening to music when I'm on my walks. When Zumba's playing, right? Like I can remember in where I grew up, there was a lot of radio stations that played just the Latino music. And when I was younger, I didn't understand it and I just couldn't embrace it. Then I get introduced to Zumba, and now it's like, play me some Latin music, like love it. I'll be in a Mexican restaurant and it's not even Mexican music. It's Zumba music. And, it just makes you want to dance and stuff. It's that kind of thing too. Even in Zumba, songs remind us of certain instructors. Well, it reminds me of certain instructors or certain moves or certain places. Like there's a couple songs that really stick out for me with some of my instructor trainings that I'd gone to. So it has good memories too when we're dialed into it. Music is an excellent way to get to know other people, help us unwind after a hard day, and offers a new dimension of enjoyment to our life. So agreed. And the other piece of this I'm going to just connect it to is if maybe music gets you because you want to listen to it on your bicycle or on your walk or moving more than maybe you would if you didn't have music playing in your ear. So just another thought. Today, I thank you for music. Help me to love and appreciate it even more now that I am sober, aka gamble free. Yeah, it's definitely a gift if we can hear it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in environments where music is playing, like the casino, and I don't hear the music of the casino. I only hear the music of the slot machines and stuff. It's what we're dialed into and conditioned to hear. Oh, apologies for my yawning, guys. It's nice and early. So, yeah, music could be a beautiful thing. Another piece of music that I've experienced lately is I'm in one of my groups, the group that we're writing a book together. We have a couple girls that really have amazing voices, and they've both sang, and it's been a form of connection, and it's been amazing. They can sing to us on Zoom, and they're just powerful women and beautiful voices, and it just adds another, like I said, level of connection in our friendship, sharing their voices and the songs that they like and their interpretations of it. So it's beautiful. All right. It is time for me to hit the road. I am going to go meet Polly for breakfast and then golf. This is his birthday golf that I'm a week late on, but he was a good sport letting me get through all the work I needed to last weekend. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I will be back in the morning. It's already Monday again. Can't imagine what's going to happen when I'm not, working for corporate America now. Like, well, I know what day of the week is it. I think I'll have to measure them in. It's Zumba at 9 a.m. day. It's Zumba at 6 p.m. day. Maybe that's the way I do it. I still have coaching and classes, so I guess it's not quite that simple. All right, beautiful people. Have a good one.